344 kilometers. 9 days, no roads, 1 bicycle, and 1 Jack Russell in a handlebar basket. This is what happened when I tried to bikepack across Lesotho mountains the hard way. This is Rocky's ride into the Forgotten Kingdom.
Go Rocky, go! Go Rocky, let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
This is Rocky, a 10-year-old rescue Jack Russell and a bikepacking veteran. He has bikepacked 1,200 kilometers across the Namib Desert through heat, dust, corrugations, and endless open country. Rocky sits in front, he leads, I follow. This time we were heading into Lesotho, the Mountain Kingdom, also known as the Forgotten Kingdom. High in the Drakensberg, completely surrounded by South Africa. The plan was simple: start in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape, climb the infamous Sani Pass, hike a bike 50 kilometers across the escarpment, no roads, no signal, no quick rescue, and then finish off where we started. The trip began on 7th of February in Matatiele in the Eastern Cape. The first 2 days were the warm-up. 132 kilometers of gravel and tar rolling through the foothills of the Drakensberg toward Underberg. Then somewhere along the way, a sign appeared. Welcome to the southern Drakensberg. It wasn't the sign itself that got me, it was what it meant. The mountains were starting to become real.
Good morning, it's day 3 of Rocky's ride, and today we head into the Forgotten Kingdom of Lesotho. We're about 16 kilometers from the Sani Border Post, and you can see the mountains looming there in the distance.
Feel Sani before you really see it.
We're currently making our way up towards Sani Pass. We're still on the South African side. Absolutely fantastic scenery. Rocky's taking it all in like a champ. So Rocky and I have made it to the SA Border Post. It was an absolutely beautiful climb, awesome tar roads, a couple of steep sections, some nice hairpins, and absolutely dramatic scenery. So we are now ready to take on the Lesotho section.
Beyond the South African border post, the tar ends abruptly, and Sani properly begins.
The scenery, yeah, is stunning. You just want to stop all the time and take photos and take videos, but this hill's not going to climb itself, is it, Rocky? So obviously I'm going to let him walk when it gets a bit steeper further on, but I'm going to save his legs until I have to get off and push as well. So we'll see how far we can make it with me pedaling, him sitting up front, but there's definitely be lots of walking involved today. some proper thunder. It's coming, it's coming. You ready, Rocky? You ready?
Rain came in not long after that.
Don't know if it fits my helmet, I've never tried.
Rocky got his jacket on too, looking slightly more expedition ready than I did.
Check the scenery. Absolutely incredible. It's getting a bit late now, it's 2:15. I've still got a good few hours ahead of me. Oh, but this is magic riding, man. Man, could be the lack of food, the endorphins, the serotonin, a combination of everything, but jeepers. Once you're up here, man, it wants to bring tears to your eyes. It's incredible when you work so hard and you see such an amazing place. Rocky and I have done it. We've made it up Sani Pass. It took us 4 hours and 90 minutes from the South African border post. So everyone just saying hello to Rocky. We're at the Massif border post. Or we've got about 2 k's down the road. There's a lodge on the left hand side. Apparently we can get some chow and something to eat. I've put his poncho on because it is getting a little bit chilly up here. Nearly done for the day. We're staying at Masoba Lodge. Pretty rustic spot, but absolutely lovely up here. Had a cold shower last night, and today I'm taking a rest day and I'm assessing the situation.
My recovery day at Sani Top was not exactly restful. I took the bike for a short reconnaissance mission, leaving the road and rolling onto the plateau.
I just did a quick recce to see if I can manage this terrain. I haven't got much gear on my bike, but it seems doable. I'll definitely be pushing when I get to the hills. And then I met a local herd boy who doesn't speak any English, and his fluffy puppy. All the dogs here have got very thick fur coats to deal with this cold weather. Much respect to the locals here. This is really hard living.
The forecast for the next day was strong wind and sustained rain, possibly worse on the ridge lines.
Okay, we've got a bit of a problem. I just quickly went from my lodge to the border post to get my power bank so on charge, and I noticed a broken spoke and my back wheels badly buckled. So now I've got to see if I can either tension it, take the risk and go over the mountain with one spoke missing, my fat ass and all the gear into no man's land, or do I hitchhike down the mountain and try and find a bicycle shop? Problem is, I can't true a wheel for shit. I never have been able to. But I can bend a spoke, so I got one part of the job right. The wheel's still pretty buckled. I'll give it a ride and we'll see how it goes.
It was supposed to be a rest day. It did not feel like one. The next 3 days were the real traverse. 40 odd kilometers in total, which does not sound like much until you understand what those kilometers actually were. No roads, no clear track, just ridge, valley, all of it above 2,800 meters. Most of the day was spent pushing, and on the steepest sections, even pushing was not enough. I had to leapfrog the load, take off the cargo bags, carry them up the ridge, stash them, walk back down the mountain, fetch my bike, and then do it all over again. Distance stopped mattering. The next 200 meters became the only metric. Rocky meanwhile, was completely at ease. 3,000 meters of exposed highland did not seem to bother him at all. He is disciplined on our expeditions, and he seems to understand when things are serious. Given open ground, he ran freely across the plateau. He introduced himself to shepherd dogs with proper canine diplomacy. Then, when it was time to move, he trotted back and hopped into the basket or walked alongside me when required. Honestly, he handled most of it with more professionalism than I did. On day 7, beyond the Matatiele ridgeline, I met an elderly Basotho man. He was probably in his 60s.
This is Tabiso. He doesn't speak much English. He's trying to show me the route. He obviously knows the mountains, but I got a path, so I've got to stick to it.
We had no shared language, so we spoke with our hands. I pointed towards Mashai Peak, then I offered him $100. He nodded, and just like that, I had a Sherpa. I stripped the bags off the bike and handed them over. He carried them while I pushed, dragged, and occasionally shouldered the bike. But he moved as if the terrain were flat. More than once I had to ask him to wait. Near the summit, my guide handed my load to a teenage shepherd who happened to be nearby. The young herd boy would now be my new Sherpa to carry on the distance. The boy moved up the ridge as if we were walking down a corridor. That kind of ease only comes from growing up on this terrain.
So we're finally on the summit of this peak. And I've peaked. And my new Sherpa, the youngster, 15 years old.
The altitude topped out at 3,283 meters. I paid the boy 100 rand. He turned and walked back up the slope without a word. Isicatula was the section that had kept me awake during the months of planning. On the maps, it looked brutally steep. In person, it was actually worse. The route was steep, loose, and wet. Every now and then, the mist would close in and erase the horizon completely. In places, there was no obvious trail at all, just slope and gravity. At one point, I lost control of the bike completely. It somersaulted down the slope and my heart stopped. Somehow, there was no damage, which felt less like good planning and more like the mountain giving me one warning for free. The rain didn't let up. It was freezing. River crossing after river crossing. Eventually I stopped bothering to take off my shoes and would wade knee deep, fully clothed with Rocky in my arms, and then go back, fetch my bicycle and do it again. Food was running low. I cold-soaked a dehydrated meal and ate it sitting in the rain. Rocky and I huddled together, sharing it. This is where the story changed from adventure to commitment. When you're cold, wet, tired, and slightly afraid, you keep moving anyway. You don't feel heroic, you just focus on the next safe step. Eventually the terrain softened. The mountains opened into a broad green valley, isolated, quiet, and almost outside of time. Rolling grassland stretched across the basin, and horses grazed on distant slopes. And suddenly, the escarpment was behind us. Lesotho is known as the Mountain Kingdom. It is often called the Forgotten Kingdom. That valley felt like the heart of both.
Okay, where am I now? Is this Khotso Lodge, eh? Khotso Lodge, okay.
I stayed in Khotso Lodge that
Come,
night.
Rocky. Come, Rocky.
Round huts, gas heaters, thick warm blankets, and a paraffin lamp for light.
Ah, very, very nice. I've had a warm shower. I'm staying at Khotso Lodge, and I've just went to the little spaza shop. For 50 bucks, I got about 15 chocolates, 12 ginger biscuits, and Rocky's gonna be super happy. I got 2 little things of bologna. So for dinner, I'm having traditional pap and marog.
After days of wind and wet socks, it felt like luxury. The next morning, I replotted the route, saving roughly a day of riding. By then, I was all adventured out and ready for home. Then I hit tar. Glorious, smooth tar. After days of punishment, it felt unreal. Rocky finally relaxed properly. That day, he settled down fully and even managed a few winks. I pushed hard on that final stretch. Near the end, it starts to feel like a race, even when no one is watching.
Well done, Rocky. Well done.
344 kilometers, 9 days, I had finished where I started. No fanfare, no crowd, just me and Rocky, rolling back into Matatiele.